جمع کنم.
Secret Ballot in essence is an absurd comedy. It is not a realist film in the tradition of Iranian cinema, what we're used to seeing from Iran to date. It portrays, or it is an absurd portrayal of the concept of democracy in society today. It is not a window to Iranian society or Iranian politics. This is not a film about the mechanism of elections in Iran.
یعنی همه میتونن رای بدن؟
آره همه میتونن رای بدن، فقط به سن قانونی رسیده باشی، شناسنامه‌ت هم مال این مملکت باشه میتونی رای بدی.
خانم اگه اینا رای بدن ما رو از نون خوردن میندازن.
نه ربطی به این چیزا نداره.
You have the character of the young girl who's the election agent and is dropped off onto this island, and she's a naive idealist. She has strong beliefs about progress in society, about democracy, and as a result of this journey on this island, she faces some of the realities of society and the real people. She transforms her views. On the other hand, we have the soldier who leads a very rigid, monotonous life, serving on an isolated, remote island, guarding the island against smugglers that we never see. And these opposite characters with very strong beliefs about what they stand for have to come together and perform a task. And they have very little understanding for one another.
من باید رای بدم، شما باید رای بدی، اینجا همه باید رای بدن دیگه که معلوم بشه کی قراره اون بالا بشینه. شناسنامه رو در میارم، اینها این شناسنامه روی این کاغذه نوشته نام خانوادگی کاندیدا. اون کسی که مد نظرمه فکر میکنم که اون باید انتخاب بشه مینویسم اینجا، اینو تا میکنم میندازم این تو، بعدم شناسنامه رو مهر میکنم. همین فهمیدی چی میگم؟ شما که هنوز اینجا وایسادین.
شما چی فرستادین؟
تو کار آقای پیامی ریسک بالاست، خطر زیاده. ما معمولا تو موقع کار روی بند راه میریم، روی تیغه راه میریم، میتونیم اینور بیافتیم میتونیم اونور بیافتیم. معمولا هم احساس میکنم متعادل رفتیم، این وقتی کار میبینیم میگیم خب، ولی خب میرسیم به لحظات ناب.
من هیچی ندیدم، تنها چیزی که دیدم اینو دیدم تو اون جعبه افتاد پایین، زندگی منو به هم زد.
یه نفر از بیرون نگاه کنه همینه، آشوبه، اصلا صحنه آشوبه، آقای پیامی آشوبه، نمیتونه ببینه، هیچ اگه نفر از بیرون نگاه میکنه هیچ نظمی رو نمیبینه. حسنی که آقای پیامی داره نسبت به چیزایی که من کار کردم، با آدمایی کار کردم، آدم بسیار منظمیه در عین بی‌نظمی. یعنی اصلا در بی‌نظمی چنان نظمی ایجاد میشه که یک بیننده خارجی نمیتونه تشخیص بده که چی کجاست. ولی وقتی که در نهایت فیلم رو میبینیم از چه متانت، از چه آرامش، از چه زیبایی برخورداره.
The sound concept, but it's more than the fact that it's filmed from a different land. It's in the sense that land or that place, the different Iran in this case, is supplying a background which has its needs. It doesn't need New York City. It doesn't need Rome or anything, or it doesn't need a shoot-up scene. It needs everything that is complementary to that particular place. Therefore, for me as an editor, I'm enjoying the possibility of adding all the sounds and making and express everything that I believe belongs there, and has to be confirmed, of course, by the director.
The first thing that we talked about with Babak in terms of the music and what it would sound like, what instruments to use, was that this is a film that was shot in Iran, and it's an Iranian film, but we didn't want to use Iranian instruments, which means there's the santur. We did use a zar, but the tombak, which is a traditional Iranian drum, but I had the person play in a non-traditional way, so it becomes not Iranian. And then instead of using a ney, which is the Arab flute, I used a recorder, flauto dolce.
The element of sound in Secret Ballot is very important in order to convey the atmosphere of remoteness, of isolation, of distance, of space to the audience. And it was very important that while maintaining the naturalist feel, sound, and look to the film, we convey that sensation to the audience as best as possible.
My attitude here is it's all laid back. And it's so easy to insert the sound into the frame, and you don't get out of it. You're right in the frame, you're with the people. And as I said to Babak after the screening, I realized that it's amazing how this picture absorbs the sound. And that, I suppose, sums it up.
I thought at first, this is something serious and something, and then when the dialogue began and the actual began to understand what the film was about, I realized, this is very funny. There's a lot of irony in it. So I thought the best thing to do was to kind of accent that, to accentuate the irony part of it, which is the kind of the absurdity sometimes of the situation of this island, and it's a desert island, and it's very dry, and the humor is that way too.
The use of non-professional actors in this film was somewhat of a challenge because the structure of the film does not have that improvisational freedom. There's a syntax in the language, in the dialogues, in the reactions. The satiric or comedic undertones in the film have to be delivered, but they have to seem very natural. And it's impossible to use non-professional actors and have the kind of rhythm that you need in order for it to work. It was a very important experience for me to figure out ways of interacting and getting close to these characters, to these people on a human level in order to understand them enough.
بعد هم میگم بعضی از صحنه‌ها رو واقعا به عنوان یه بیننده هم نگاه می‌کردم. کوبیدن مهر اون پیرمرد بازم به عنوان یه بیننده منو تکون میداد. یا اون صحنه مادره که اومد گفت چطور دختر من 12 سالگی میتونه ازدواج کنه الان نمیتونه، باز دوباره منو به عنوان یه بیننده تکون داد. دلم میخواد کسایی هم که این فیلمو میبینن همین تکونو بخورن، یعنی اینو حس کنن که این یه تصویر ایدئالی از شرایط موجود ماست.
As an absurd comedy, Secret Ballot is not a mockery of the democratic process. I try to, through this film, raise questions, and I try to provoke thought
آخه کدوم مقررات؟ اینجا بیابونه. ماشینی رد نشده از اینجا.
من که نمیتونم قانون زیر پام بذارم.
آخه اینجا قانون چه معنی داره؟ این چراغ اشتباهی اینجا گذاشتن.